Yeah, maybe don't get the 7-Eleven Wi-Fi. Stop stealing that.
Sorry,
uh,
go ahead.
yeah, I was just I wanted to get coaching because I just feel like I reached the point where I'm like I don't really know what else to do to improve. I feel
Sure.
like I need somebody else to look at like what I'm doing because
Okay.
I I feel like I should be doing. I feel like I'm doing the things that I should be doing,
Right.
but it's not exactly like working out.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, how long you been playing Overwatch? Because obviously, like you're pretty highly ranked. GM Masters on the Try New stuff account. So how long you been playing?
Probably since 2020. So for like a while, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, I would say 2020. I don't remember exactly. I think it's like when I like during the pandemic I started playing it
Okay.
and I just took it more seriously, like I don't know, like last year. And I just want to get to GM1. I don't know why. I like it's not like I'm not gonna go pro or anything, but like
Mm.
I'm very I feel like I'm very obsessive when it comes to things. Like I
Mm.
just have to get really good at something.
Okay. Okay.
Like right? I don't know. At university I did the same thing. I like would study like for hours on end just to get like I don't know better grades and stuff.
Sure. Sure.
And yeah, that's pretty much why.
You know, when I had struggles with that even like when I was doing competitive coaching like that. And one thing I noticed is that like when you're like that, you're almost guaranteed to be at least reasonably successful. But you'll never be quite as successful as you would hope to, I think, because you don't you work hard enough you're going to get good at something, but maybe just not quite as good as you'd like. And then the other dangers as well is that like it can steal the fun out of things sometimes, you know?
Oh,
Um,
definitely. Yeah, definitely.
I don't know if you feel the same
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Uh,
Okay. Well, we'll talk about that. So you talk about characters that you play. Tracers,
oh
the
boy.
GM3. Yeah, but
Yeah.
you're just a total DPS menagerie, basically. All the DPS, basically.
Yeah. There's just a few that I don't enjoy. The characters that I think are like pretty like just low skill. I don't know. They just feel really boring to play, like Bash and stuff like that.
Sure.
But yeah, I find it really hard to stick to just a few, to be honest. Like sometimes it just feels like I should be on Echo, or I should be on Sombra, or
Right.
I should be on Tracer.
Right.
And it feels like any other choice, like it's not as good. And
Yeah.
I understand you only gotta pick like a couple, two or three, right, to really like understand the minutiae, or
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
right. I
Yeah.
understand that, but it just like I know that, but subconsciously, at least subconsciously, I feel like there's a better pick, and
Yeah.
I don't know, in the map, and given like the comp that I'm going into with the comp that I'm in, and maybe I'm overrating that. Maybe that's why. But yeah, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. You might
Probably
be overrating
something.
it. You're aware of it, right? Which is good.
Yeah,
You're aware of
yeah.
it, but
I know. Yeah,
it's still hard to do that. I think the idea is that like when you have a surface level understanding of a lot of characters, it's really easy to see the strengths and weaknesses. Like it's really easy to see exactly what Bastion does and exactly what Winston does, or exactly what Widowmaker does, or exactly what Ana does, you know? And especially for DPS, I think DPS, there's pretty clear strengths and weaknesses with a lot of DPS cast, right? Like if
yeah,
nobody's confused about what Reaper's strengths and weaknesses are.
yeah,
But yet you might miss some of the nuances that a Reaper player or a Reaper one trick could maybe pick out and in seemingly impossible situations, ways to win games, right? And same thing with Genji and Torb. And I guess, you know, it's interesting that the one character that you've played a lot of, which is the Tracer, is a one character where uh, you know, certainly mechanically it's difficult to adjust your playstyle a lot, but the character is so very, very flexible, right? Like you have so many ways of adjusting and playing around it. And I think
yeah.
it's important to remember that like those options are still available for other heroes as well. So right now, maybe you have like that surface level understanding of like what to do in suboptimal situations, but the easy answer is always like, I could just play this character instead and not worry about it.
Like if I'm in circuit, I kind of just want to go Sombra and get
Yeah.
behind the Widow and one shotter
Yeah.
type of thing. And I
I mean,
can't
that's
exactly
immediately
do that.
available. You
Yeah,
know?
right. Like with Tracer, I feel like that's just so much harder,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And
Well, you're
I'm
right.
just
You're right.
right.
It is
I know.
harder.
I
Like
know.
you can even go over the roof. I think. Yeah, you can go over the roof. Like on first point, chuck your translocator up over the right side and just wrap
Yeah,
around.
like I get behind the widow. What is the widow gonna do, right? Like
Yeah,
it's there's almost like no answer
yeah,
on her end, and on Tracer it's just like way difficult, way more difficult. So
yeah, yeah,
I just
yeah.
kind of like default to switch into whatever is easier. I think sometimes not. To be fair, I think I'm not being objective here. I don't think I'm doing like a lot of the time. I will stick to Tracer because I find it really fun, and no matter what, like even if they have a Torb, Sombra, some Brig, Anna type of stuff, I'll still stick to Tracer until like it really doesn't work because I find Tracer to be the most fun.
Right, right.
So
Here's what I would say. Check this out. So you've got like, let's say this is like your ceiling of value, right? The most value that you can get, right? And looking at it here, you're talking about like, okay, 50% of this bar, actually even more than that. Let's just say 75% of this bar is your skill at the character, okay? And then the other 25%, we'll say this little green section, it's not exactly 25%, but my art skills are lacking,
uh,
is like the value of the character versus the composition, right? So in other words, if you're a really, really, really good Tracer player, a really, really good Widow player, you're going to be able to fill your bar all the way up to like here. You're going to be able to get all this stuff, Or if you're a really bad Sombra player, you're going to be like on the right side here. You're going to be only be able to get a little bit of the value of the character. The problem with you is you're fixating on this little section right here where it's like, hey, does this character make sense in the composition that I'm playing it in? And you're missing this bar here. So what you need to do is you need to do a little bit of addition, okay? How good are you at Tracer? Very good, right? So you're like, all right, well, if I'm very good at Tracer, let's say that this bar is like 90% filled up, right? Like let's say I'm getting 70% out of 75 value right there, all right? And then let's say you're playing Tracer on Circuit Royale, first point attack, not a very good pick. It's not a very bad pick, but it's also not a very good pick. So what do you think? Like half filled up here, right? Half filled up the green bar, right?
Yeah, maybe
So it's like
about half.
Yeah, so
Maybe
like
I would say maybe 30.
right. So like
30%.
12.5% total of the 25%. So half of the 25%. So that's going to be, it's 12.5% plus 70%. Here we are, we're doing math. 82.5% value, right? So you talk about your Sombra, right? How good is your Sombra compared to your Tracer?
I don't. I don't know.
Just give me a ballpark. Decent, good, not quite as
decent.
good.
I was
All right.
decent.
So like 60% maybe?
Yeah,
decent. So like 60%, like pretty good, like actually fairly decent, So 60%, and then you talk about Sombra in that situation. Like let's say that she's not amazing, but she's better than Tracer. So like let's even go let's say that she's 20%, like she's way up here. She's almost full, like she's really good in that Circuit Royale. I don't think that's the case, but let's just roll with it. So 20%, right, instead of 12.5. You can kind of see where I'm going with this, right? Where like even in that circumstance, just from simple addition, right? It actually might make more sense to play Tracer in that circumstance. It's close, but it might make sense. Now, obviously, we're just pulling numbers out of thin air, right?
Yeah,
we're pulling numbers out of thin air.
We don't know the real numbers.
Right, we're making it up. But you kind of see what I'm saying, where like it's generally more important your skill at the character than it is the character. Now, I will say that if you had let's say you had a good Widowmaker. Like, let's say your Widowmaker was as good as your Sombra, like pretty decent. Widowmaker is 25%. She's the best. She's perfect on Circuit Royale, right? Like very, very good at Circuit Royale. So now you've got a situation where like, even though your Widowmaker isn't as good as your Tracer, you should play Widowmaker, right? Because she's the best pick on that map, right?
Yeah, it just makes the most sense.
But that's the question is your Widowmaker decent? And if it's not decent, you might have like a 50% Widowmaker, then it's still play Tracer, right? and I think the key thing for you, and the factor that actually overwhelms all of this as well, it makes all this kind of a little bit less relevant, is also how much fun do you have playing that character too? Like, I've chatted with people that are like, they talk about like the rock, paper, scissors, and they're always saying like, I play the rock, paper, scissors because I just enjoy playing different characters. But if that's you, sure, roll with that. Like if you enjoy flipping around, but if it feels like, oh, it's a need, that's what we kind of want to avoid. There's a need to an extent, right? Especially at your rank. But you need to make sure that you're not like playing every single DPS character because, oh, I should just be playing this at this any point in time. Just play because you want to.
Yeah, no. I understand that. I think most of the time I'm just gonna be playing what I think what I want to play. So mostly Tracer.
Yeah.
I would say that makes up for like probably 70-80% of the time that I'm like playing. So and the times that I do switch is like when I feel like a better pick would be available.
Yeah.
But I also enjoy that too. It's not like it's not like,
yeah. Well,
it's
that's
not
good.
out of necessity, really.
That's good.
Like I really have a hard time like not picking Echo, for example, because I think it's sometimes in the right map is so fun.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just enjoy the pick.
But so then that's it right there. Like then have a hero pool of Echo Tracer plus one other hit scan just in case Tracer doesn't work.
Yeah, but what about like in the Widow maps? I feel like it's miserable to play Tracer sometimes, and like
depends on the map.
Like,
Circuit, I'd agree. Havana, I don't think I necessarily agree. Junkertown, I don't think, especially after today's patch, you're gonna be cooking on Tracer.
Yeah, but like I don't know. Sometimes I get cooked on Havana, or I get cooked in Junkertown and stuff like that, right? And
yeah,
it feels bad. That's like I that's like partly the reason why I wanted to like pick up Widow. But
sure.
I
see, that's the thing.
Is Echo? It's so not fun.
So then don't play Widow. Because you need to. This is where like your quality as a player is going to come through. Either you're going to pass or fail. Your ability to look at like I have a hard time with Tracer in those situations. I personally, maybe this is my position here. I could tell you that if you're struggling with Tracer on Havana or Junkertown, a large percentage of it is a skill issue. It's not as near as unfriendly as a map as Circuit Royale. There are many options. In fact, I just coached a GM Tracer versus a Widowmaker last night, and we were talking about some of the different off angles that you can take, right? So you, now we could go through that and we could look through the map. Maybe that's what we'll do. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But then you need to go figure it out, though, more than anything else. You need to go find out what angles work. What approaches work? Why are you having a hard time with Tracer? What is it about your gameplay? You're taking bad angles? Is your timing bad? Is your movement bad? You know?
Oh yeah, I'm a long time viewer of your channel and stuff, so I'm always thinking about that. I'm always thinking about
good.
Good, right? But oh my god, I feel like I never know if it's like the best.
Yeah, but nobody knows. Like nobody knew initially. People had to figure it out. And again, that's where your qualities as a player is going to come out. Because I can answer a lot of questions and I can tell you what to do, but like there's always going to be a new map. There's always going to be a new problem. So it's like your quality as a player isn't just your ability to know things, but your ability to like solve your own problems, right?
Yeah.
And you should be motivated to do that because you freaking don't want to play Widowmaker. So you should be motivated to figure out the problems with Tracer.
I don't.
I
really don't.
I mean, think about like freaking Bastion main. That guy is like, okay, maybe not the best example, but like that guy figured out solutions to Bastion. Because he freaking wanted to play Bastion, so he figured out a solution to playing Bastion in situations where it doesn't make any sense.
In really suboptimal situations, probably.
Right. And you're playing Tracer with so much more ceiling available.
Way many more options.
So if you want to play the character, you'll find a way.
I do. Yeah, I do.
All right, then do it. I think Echo is a great complement to Tracer. A lot of verticality.
Maybe bring it down to like, okay, say Tracer, Echo, Sombra, maybe.
Do you enjoy playing Sombra a lot?
Yeah. Sombra's quite fun.
Then I agree. So yeah, that's a great hero pool. Tracer, Echo, Sombra. There are going to be very few circumstances where that's not going to pick. I think Brawl maps might be a little bit awkward, but Echo and Tracer are still decent. And even Sombra's decent. Like you're going to have pretty much a decent choice for any situation with those three picks.
Yeah, just if I can get good enough, I can play it.
A lot of things that make Tracer Sombra feel bad, Echo's going to feel good versus, So it's like you'll be good. That covers your strengths. And then if you really, really wanted to play X character at any point in time, then yeah, you could throw it in there.
Yeah, I'm probably gonna still do that. Like I said,
sure.
I have a bad time saying
okay, well, here's the thing though. It's about building consistent habits, right? So if you're like having a hard time with like the massive hero pool, if today all we did is like encourage you to just step away from the Widowmaker, That's good enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay.
let's keep going here. 3 to 4 hours a day of Overwatch, between 4 to 5 days a week. All right. Do you have any questions with training time, warm up, taking breaks, or anything like that? Or are you good to go?
No, I think I'm good. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Goals, understanding what is the most important aspect of my gameplay. Need to focus on, come up with more focused functional training program to get to GM1. Okay. Well, it sounds like you said you want a more functional training program, but do you think you're pretty happy with where you're at?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
what I mean by like that more functional training program is like
Sure.
so exactly what I should be doing in like the 3-4 hours. Like so the one thing that I really struggle with sometimes is like focusing on like a single aspect
Yeah.
of my gameplay, because like I feel like I should be, there's like 100 things that I should be working on,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
I know I gotta focus on one, and that's the best way to go about it. But like I can't not think about other stuff as well. And
Sure. So that's a very common problem. It's what I would say you're blessed with knowledge or cursed with knowledge, where you know a lot. Maybe you've been watching some of my channel. Maybe you're just a smart player. Maybe you've been watching some other educational stuff, and so you have like all these ideas flowing on your head. You're very self-aware of your own mistakes, maybe, and so you're thinking that like there's like 7 or 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 different things that need to work on for each character. And the problem is you're right. You're 100% right that you have weaknesses in every aspect. The challenge, though, is because you're aware of these things, you're creating sort of like an ADHD learning environment where nothing feels like you're ever able to give it enough attention to actually improve at it, right? It feels like today I'm bad at this, and tomorrow I'm bad at this, and I need to worry about this, but I also need to worry about this. And so you go into every game and it's a total jumble. There's no consistent theme, there's no mission, there's no guidance, and so you don't actually improve. This is actually a common mistake with a lot of coaches, even in all the way to Overwatch League, where their VOD reviews, for example, will be like so many different themes that you walk away from it. You just feel like there's so many information just thrown in your head, but there's no like consistent mission. And so you need a mission for yourself, right? Now, the tricky part is one of the mistakes that I made early on when I was ranking up is that I would give myself one goal to practice, right? Because I was smart, right? I knew what I was doing, right? But the problem is I'd give myself a goal to work on for like a week and a half, and I got so bored. And I also I couldn't think about it for longer than like a day, because I knew that I started to think about the other stuff I wasn't supposed to think about. Right? No, focus on your positioning. Stop thinking about your cooldown. Something, but no. And it was like, because all I could see was those other mistakes. Right? So here's what I learned. First off, it depends on the person. Some people don't actually struggle with that. Some people can work on just their positioning and their cover usage for a whole week and not get distracted and not get bored. I envy those people. I am not one of them. I get distracted easily. I want to focus on all the different things at once, right? So what I learned is that for many people, it's okay and even desirable to work on one thing per day or even one thing per game. So look at it this way. You load into a game as Echo on Circuit Royale. You're playing Echo in Circuit Royale. You're crazy, right? That's a hard matchup, let's say. You go into that match and you're like, I've been really, really bad at getting copy value. Like I just don't put any thought into my copy value. So this one game, I'm going to put all my energy, as much as my focus I possibly can, that as soon as I get to my ultimate, I can think about whatever I want. But when I get my ultimate, my priority is in setting up that ultimate. Finding out who am I copying, when am I copying, am I going in aggressively and finding a copy? Is there something in particular I'm looking to copy? And you give all your attention, and you just do that for that one game.
Really?
Just the one game.
Just the one game?
Just the one game. Because you know what? That's all you need. Because you go into the next game, you get a Tracer game. Okay, what do I want to practice with Tracer? You can have like a list of 25,000 things that you want to work on. That's fine, as long as you go into the game and you choose one of them. And so what ends up happening is that's how you use that like lack of focus, by picking different things each game. See, it's not about being single-minded, focused, grinding at one thing over and over and over and over and over and over again for weeks on end until you fix the issue. That's just not realistic for most people. It's just the effort applied in any one game that matters the most.
Yeah, the worst about the worst you can do, and I'm guilty of this. I think it's like just autopilot.
That's it.
Like you kind of like surface level work on stuff, but you're not like really focused.
Exactly.
100% energy,
and that's the worst case scenario.
That matters.
Right. Yeah. That's the worst case scenario, because you surface level do everything and you don't do anything. So what you do is you dig really deep. You focus really hard for just one game at one thing. And then you hopefully are able to do that the next game, the next game, the next game. But you could, the fun thing is that I'm saying is that you can mix up every game what you're working on if
Yeah,
you'd like.
working on positioning for like a week, you know.
It's just not going to work. Now, the reason why I learned that this works so well is not just because the ADHD brain and yada, 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 but the reason why is because it's fun. It's more fun. It's more engaging. And the other thing too is I realized this in my Zenyatta. I realized that when I was playing it to double sniper, the emphasis on using cover was so much more important than using my transcendence. So if I was working on my trance usage and I'm playing into a double sniper composition, it just wasn't that good practice because the trance usage just wasn't that important. But all of a sudden, right, go ahead.
No, yeah, obviously, like double sniper,
right,
like, cover
exactly.
usage is literally 80% of the game.
Right. And then all of a sudden I'm playing into dive and I'm like, all right, I got to really be thoughtful about my trance usage and, you know, like the distance that I'm playing, you know? So it's like, it felt like me trying to force myself to work at something for a week. There was a lot of games where it just felt like it wasn't all that important. And so I didn't really practice it, right? So what that does is that allows you to look at the map, look at the composition, look at what you're feeling and be like, yeah, I really feel like I need to practice this game or this map. Or like, you know, I've noticed recently I've been kind of slipping with my CD usage as that goes. So today I'm really going to work on my CD usage, or this game I'm really going to work on my CD usage. So give yourself a little bit of flexibility. And even if you're only able to give yourself full focus for a couple of fights per game before you autopilot, that's still okay. That's still you're still going to improve with that because that's still better than autopiloting for an entire game, trying to work on 25 different things at once.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so that would, you would say a better approach for like just improving at the game would just be that, right? Like that would be a better training program. Like sit down 3 hours a day that I sit down, right? Just focus on one thing every game. But actually
and mix
really
it up.
Focus on them.
Mix it up and do the best that you can. You know, you're not likely to go through all 3 hours fully focused, but aim for as many of those games as possible to be focused. You know, you might be focused for 60%, you might be focused for 30%, 80%. It's going to depend on your sleep, your attitude. You know, don't worry as much about it. Do the best that you can, and like I also, again, like you need to kind of treat yourself like you're your own coach, and so you kind of read your mood, you read what works better for you. You try different things, and you just see how it goes. That would be what I would recommend. And that's where you use the sticky notes or whatever.
That sounds so much better than like just grinding something for like a week. I can't. I'll be honest. I've tried it a bunch of times. I don't think I've ever stuck to it. Like
right. Exactly. It's the same kind of thing when I was coaching people with like fitness and stuff. People like want to write up a workout plan for like 3 months and like they're going to work out for an hour and a half. And they would ask me for advice, and I'd be like, all you need to do is move around for 15 minutes per day and just see what you feel like. Do I want to feel like doing a couple of bicep curls? Do I feel like taking a walk? Do I feel like going outside? Do I feel like doing a little bit of cardio? Do I feel like, you know, doing some push-ups? You just need to move for 15, 20 minutes every single day. That's it. Whatever it is, you know, that's how people need to start. You know, it's the same thing. People always try to bite off more than they can chew. They try to be like, you know, Arnold Schwarzenegger on the Overwatch game, you know, and it never lasts. And it never lasts. You know, you got to start small. You got to build the habit, and then you know, you also play it by ear. Like even the best athletes in the world, they write training programs based off of how they feel, right? It's very important that you pay attention to your brain, to your body, and that you're not locking yourself in.
You got to be flexible.
You got to be flexible, but you got to be consistent. That's the thing. You could be flexible and dedicated at the same time. People don't understand that, I don't think.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you did like body coaching and stuff.
Yeah, it's been a long time, but I used to coach a lot of fitness stuff back in the day. I was considering going to personal training, but decided that was people like that were a little bit of a dime a dozen. And also I didn't agree with a lot of the science that I was studying with it, so I moved away.
Nice.
Okay. So understanding the most important, I think that is more my improvement, glacial speed. Yeah, I mean, if your improvement's moving at glacial speed, either you're not applying yourself, and if you're not applying yourself, it just might be that you're just not. They applying yourself is too boring, and you're not motivated to apply yourself.
Yeah, I think it is that. I need to like stop autopiloting, and because I feel like I do it a lot, and that's just not gonna be. That's just not improvement, right?
Yes, I look at it this way. I look at it when people struggle with motivation. Part of it is strength of will. Strength of will needs to improve, but also you need to make it easier to have a strength of will at the same time. You know, like it needs to be. You need to develop yourself personally, and you also need to make it more enjoyable to do the things that you're wanting yourself to do.
Yeah, like in Atomic Habits. Have you read that?
I have it on my bookshelf. I haven't read it yet, but I got it for my birthday, so I'm going to be reading it.
It's a good one, but like there in the book it basically says that, right? You need like if you want to form a habit, you need to make it easier for you
Mhm.
to like actually do the thing, and
I
then
agree.
harder to do things that you don't want to do.
You want a
Right?
hot take? You want a hot take?
Oh yeah, sure.
Signing up for the gym is one of the worst things that you could do.
Oh, bro. Oh my goodness. I hated it. I
I
signed up for it. I dropped it and like I think I paid like hundreds
Nobody
of
wants
bucks.
to
I
dress
never
up.
used it. I
Nobody
never
wants to
used it.
drive. Nobody wants to get other equipment.
You
I
know what
remember
is
it's
you know what's
terrible.
been working for me? Like
What?
I've just been like buying weights and like
Yeah,
doing
that's
stuff
it.
at my
That's
house.
it.
It's so
That's
much
it.
better.
When you can just chill, watch a YouTube video or like
Yeah.
do some
It's
curls.
not a thing. It's
Yeah,
not a thing. It's like I just do it if I feel like it, and I do
yeah.
feel like it most of the like for
When
consistently.
ease of access, it makes it so much easier to do.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Yeah,
what like. That's what the book says. It's like
yeah,
basically make it easy as you can
yeah, yeah,
for you to do the thing,
yeah,
and it makes it orders of magnitude
yeah.
more likely that you're
And
actually
I
gonna
think that's what
stick
we
to
need to
it.
do with Overwatch too. Make it fun,
Yeah,
make it enjoyable.
I need help with that.
Yeah.
I don't know how to. Yeah, like I'll just
I want
like.
to interject one more thing with that. I want to remind. I talked about it a little bit already, but just remind you the two
Yeah,
fight rule. Have you heard me talk about that before?
I don't think I have.
Okay, so I think I mentioned it a little bit a second ago, but basically the idea is that like if you're struggling with autopilot, don't make yourself focus on something for the entire game. Ask yourself to focus on it for just the first two fights, and then
Okay.
let yourself autopilot after that.
Really?
Just the
Okay.
first two fights. Just the first two fights.
Okay.
Because then it doesn't feel like a chore. You go and you focus really hard on the something for two fights, and then you let yourself autopilot.
Okay. Okay. I'll watch the video. I've seen it.
Just a simple
Yeah.
way of like kind of keeping yourself on track with again without not biting off more than you can chew.
Yeah.
Okay. Biggest thing is your mentality tilt. I guess
Oh,
sometimes get so tilted.
boy. Okay, so I know I'm saying I'm talking about like a lot of like of being focused and like I don't know not autopilot and stuff. But no, that's actually not the biggest issue. Not even close. It genuinely it's so bad. Oh my goodness, I'll like lose my freaking mind when I'm playing comp. I don't know why. Like people do some inexplicable things.
Yeah, yeah,
And like it just feels like there's no point playing the game. Like it literally doesn't. Like I'll be going like 30 something and like three deaths, and I'll
mhm,
have like a freaking glue eater going like oh like just goes like I don't know 10 and 20. And it's not even like an exaggeration. Like I wish
yeah.
it was. It does happen. Like it's not very common, but it does happen a lot where people like that just happens, and it feels like you got to put in so much more effort just to make up for that, and it's like it feels horrible to me
But
at
what are you
least.
playing for? What are you playing for?
Yeah,
When you play a game, like
I
what are you playing
know,
for?
I know to improve, right? But
Well,
like,
but that's the easy answer. But
when
I
I
hope that you're
know,
playing for more than that. Like why do you even want
well,
to improve?
okay, so obviously I want to improve because like I just want to add like low key. I just want to get like GM1. That's
Sure,
pretty much it. But like it feels so bad to be in a game like that where like it just feels like you have to like do incredible things just to be able to like have a chance to win,
sure.
and it like is demotivating because I think like there is quite a few games like that. It's like
Of
not a
course,
it's not an
yes.
irrelevant or
Well,
right.
it's irrelevant in the big picture of things. In terms of the fairness of the game, it's irrelevant because there's somebody like the way matchmaking is works is you're going to have games where you literally have a diamond player. You literally have a diamond player on both teams, but you literally have a diamond player in your lobby, and there will be a couple of players, you or whoever else, that are expected to overperform to carry the lobby because you're the highest ranked player in the lobby. And the vice versa is also. Have you ever been in a GM2 lobby?
Yeah.
Right? So all of a sudden now you are the player that's expected to be carried. You're just supposed to do a good job, do the best that you can. You're going to die a lot. It's okay. It happens. But so that's it. It's a balanced game. You're expected to carry. That your mindset needs to be, hey, I am the Giga Chad in the lobby. I'm going to pop off. Obviously, I'm going to pop off because these guys are, low masters. But I'm gonna have to do even better than I normally do.
Yeah.
You gotta. It's the same goal of pushing yourself to make as few mistakes as few mistakes as possible. The same
Yeah.
goal. You know,
Yeah.
and so like you know, I had this realization. I used to stack quick play with friends back in the day who were a lot lower ranked than me, and every single lobby I would be the highest ranked player in the lobby, and I would always be like, bro, like how are we losing? How are we losing? And I had to stop one day. I was like, dude, I am the stupidest son of a gun I know. Of course I'm popping off. Dude, I'm the highest rated player in the lobby. I'm expected to pop off. And yet I'd always go back and I'd look at the stupid quick play. I'm like, yeah, if I had done that better, I should have done that, or I should have done that. We would have won, or we would have won. So just play the game, mate. Just play the game, have fun. And like, there's going to be games where you're going to be the 10 and 20, maybe not as many as you think, but like, you know, it's just the nature of the game. It's just the nature of the game. You have to break this mindset that every single game is all GM2 players playing versus each other. Because even in that case, there will be times where your GM2 teammates have a bad game and they look like Masters 2 players.
Yeah, it definitely happens. Pretty common, actually. Happens to me, right?
Yeah, and you just don't remember because it's you and you're the greatest person.
No, I do remember.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, I'm aware of that. That happens to me a lot. I don't know. It'll just be like you have like a bad day, have a headache, off day, and you just don't do anything. You're like literally just like a freaking blind, mute, and deaf person that doesn't have, you know?
Yeah. I mean that happens all the time. Happens to all of us. Okay, game design. The balance of this game genuinely makes me want to quit the game sometimes.
Okay, yeah, that's also true, right? Like that's not even a hot take. It's like, come on, man. Like I go trade. I gotta spend like hundreds of hours getting good at Tracer, and then they just release a hero that completely denies my value, right? Like my assistance. It's like, just like it feels bad.
I agree. I agree.
And here's when I like it makes all the hours that I put into it feel like a waste. Not exactly, and like I consciously know that's not true, but it's like it just kind of feels like that. When I don't know.
Here's the bad news. You're right. I have nothing to add. So it's either you're going to be like, hey, I don't enjoy playing this game in this current state, and I'm going to take a break, or it's still fun for me, and I need to get over myself because me getting all upset over this is stealing the fun more so than it already is.
True.
You make that decision.
That is also true.
I've known people that took a break during GOATS meta because of Brig, you know, all the DPS players. I never blamed them. Sure, I would do it. That would frustrate me too. But don't sit here and complain about it. You either quit or you play. You don't complain because that just makes the problem worse. You know?
Yeah. No, I agree with that.
It's not. You shouldn't feel bad about being upset, but you should feel bad about complaining, and still queuing up every day.
Yeah, that's a good take.
Right.
That's a good take. That is a really good take.
I understand sometimes we got to have a little bit of cathartic release. There's a lot of times during my Overwatch League, which I'm glad I did and I enjoyed, where I would, you know, rant and rave and I just needed to like talk out loud and get some stuff off my chest. But if that's a constant struggle, then you need to reevaluate what you're doing. You know.
Yeah, if you're like yelling every.
And I will be honest, or just not having fun. I will be honest that is where I wouldn't feel guilty about taking the easy way out. Like if you took a break from Tracer in a Tracer meta where she was literally unplayable, don't feel bad about it. Go learn another character that feels better. Go play some Hanzo. Pick up Hanzo, right? You know, or whatever DPS character that you want to play. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, that is true.
Yeah. You know, I don't think you want to be a flavor of the month guy, but I also don't think that you know there's any, you know, oh hey, I OTP this character when she was literally trash. Look at me, like okay, you want me just to clap for you or what? You know, like fine. Okay, high elo anxiety. Now this is ironic because you got high elo anxiety, and then you're talking about tilt when you got some bot in your teammate, right? And now you're both tilted at bots, and you are the bot in the high elo games. All right. I get really high elo players. I honestly get imposter syndrome, and I just can't perform. Well, remember again that you're not expected to perform all that well in the high elo games anyway. I've resorted to alt-Zing and cutting out the US so I don't see the names, just focus on the games. That is bad. I think you could turn on streamer mode, by the way, for that.
I don't know what that does. I don't know what that is.
It's... Surely I can find this.
Charlie.
Yeah, streamer mode. You turn this on, check this, double check this. You might look toy with this again. It scrambles everybody's names and makes them like look like Elon Musk's kid's name. You know what I'm saying? Like XZ, Z, so you don't even know like who's who or what their names are. I actually knew somebody that did that going into a Flash Ops game because they didn't want to see like freaking Seeker or Jake in the kill feed. They would get like browbeaten, scared. So you could do that, and you don't even see their names.
Oh, sick! I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's probably better than turning off your UI.
bro. But I'll be honest. Although I was kind of cooking with that. I won't lie to you.
All right, look. Yeah, I mean, the human brain is amazing. It adapts, but it's not optimal.
No, I'm telling you, I was freaking cooking with that. I tried
I did
it out.
Crosshair a long time ago. It was fun.
No, it does. I'm doing that currently. I don't have a crosshair. It's actually going great.
Yeah. There's value in it. Yeah. I mean, people are gonna call you out because they're people just like you who are mad at the lower rank players that are sabotaging their lobby, but respectfully too stupid to realize that the lobby is balanced around you entering the lobby. So that if they lose, it's still their fault. Again, just kind of take that as a lesson. There's always a bigger fish and there's always a smaller fish. And your job is to just do the best that you can, no matter where you're at.
There's a lesson in there somewhere.
Yeah, there is. I'll let you dig that one around. Okay, we don't have much time. Let's look at some gameplay here.
Yeah. Do you want me to send the code?
Yeah, do it up.
Okay, I just sent that. You can load that up. It's I think it's like a game, or I think I did decently good, and we lost, which is I think an ideal type of game to review, right?
Mm-hmm. Which one are you? Wait. You're the tracer here.
Right? Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. I went back and checked your form.
Yeah.
They got Scuba Steve on their team. Nice. Almost got him. Play the Mega.
Dude, wait, sorry. I can't see this.
Oh. Click on my face at the top of the Discord stream.
Oh, okay. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird when I stop and restart stream. Okay. Let's take a look here.
Let's see. I love this. Nobody expects people here.
No.
Gotta go for the one clip. I miss it.
You almost got him. I mean, he has 17 HP. That's like a bullet,
Yeah, but then my aim abandons me, and I don't get him.
I would have preferred you to blink for the Mega here, just to save the re. Gotta see what I'm saying? Probably would have been better, but it's still a good play. That's just a mechanical goof up because you go for the mini, but you miss the mini.
I go for the mini, man, but
you missed the mini. You just missed it. That's it.
Oh.
Yeah. So you got to look at this and be like, this was subjectively a good play. It was a smart duel. You had a massive advantage. You just misplayed it with your blink recall unnecessarily, and then you just freaking missed the mini health pack. I mean, this guy is dead. This guy is totally dead if you get the mini or if you grab the Mega.
Yeah.
Good angle, good timing, good play. Who cares? Go next.
Okay. I love angles like this.
Yeah,
I try to always go to places where I can't be really shot at, and I can just shoot for free, right?
Yeah,
those always feel really good.
Yeah, this is good.
Just right?
Yeah. The only thing I would say here is this angle seems a little spooky to me because you got a cross wide open in front of it. From here, I think your best bet would be to actually wrap upstairs and come from this angle here.
But I can just blink, right?
True, but why blink? You want full blinks, is my point. You're seeing your shot in the back, and there's 2 blinks to hold an angle. When instead, you can blink maybe once here, and instead of having an angle on Doom, you actually have an angle on backline instead.
And that's just better.
It's just better, right? And it costs you fewer blinks, and you spend less time out in the open. So just keep that in mind. I think your starting position was really good, but then once he leaves that angle, don't blink across the entire map. Instead, just deepen the angle that you're already on.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense.
One thing that I've been really aware of lately is just the 9 angles of not even I'm not in a place just to go for something. I'm just there to deny the space.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that I don't know. Is that a good thing, or should I also?
No, it's good. It's good. Yeah, the way I look at it is think about your starting position here. Okay, so you start here, and you're thinking, if anybody's here, I'm going to kill them. Yeah. And you did, or you should have, right? You were great. Perfect. Okay. Now the question is what happens if nobody's here? What you did the equivalent of here is you blinked across to this angle here. I don't want you to do that. I want you to stay here and harass backline. Stay here, harass backline. Use the space if they're not using it, if that makes sense, right? If somebody contests you on the angle, fight them for it. If there's nobody on the angle, you use it. Applying that here, if there's anybody here, the Doomfist, the Sojourn, contest them. What did you do? You sent the Sojourn out. You sent the Doomfist out. And so then once they leave, don't chase them. Just deepen the angle that you're already on. Use the angle that you have.
Yeah, here I should have just stuck to like I could have been shooting like even the Doom at that angle, right?
Exactly. So now it's like, as quickly as you can, find out where's the next angle to take.
Here, I don't really know. So
I really think that the solution is just to go back to the left here. This just feels so awkward to engage directly here.
I felt
this is a little bit of map stuff where I think the lack of connective tunnel from this point to this point is a big problem. Which is why I think if you're playing deep first, which is like the back half here, right side's almost always going to feel better. If you're playing shallow first, this side's always going to feel better because you can angle from here, and then you can angle from here, right? But this obviously feels really awkward. This is where I just prefer you to go left. Just go left.
This one always feels bad.
Go left, and go from there. Because this is too direct, right? It's going to cost you.
Yeah, I had to recall there.
Yep. And then now you're kind of stuck. Yep.
Yeah, I feel like a freaking fish in a bowl or something.
Yeah.
Like I'm nowhere to go.
And it all started right here. Well, actually, this is not where the time started. It actually started right. It started right here.
Right here.
Right? As soon as you chased across instead of deepened, you screwed yourself over.
Yeah.
Angle's just not as good. But see, this is okay. See, I promise you, if we looked at your Havana VOD where you're like, oh, I struggle in the Widowmaker, we would see stuff like this where you chose the wrong angle and everything felt really bad. So you know what this tells me? This tells me that you need to pull up the replay viewer and honestly, not even necessarily look at your gameplay. Just look at the maps and be like, okay, why did that position feel so bad? Was there another option? Come up with a solution. Take 2 minutes to look at this fight and come up with a different solution.
Yeah, go crazy on to mode and not figure it out. That guy just died. Their team was really making him. He was not getting any support. He was a free kill most of the time.
Nice.
But we still lose, so.
I mean, that's it. Maybe he was the slow kid, Maybe he was the low rank player.
It might have been.
That's how it goes. There's always one.
Yeah. I gotta recall that.
Same thing, though. Use that left side. Because you're thinking, I want to set up in the angle here. You can't. It's too hard. You don't have time. Set up here. Set up here and lurk. Listen, you could, you know the routine, right? You can come in from here. There's all sorts of options here. Because now you're standing here shooting at a Nano Doom in the front line. Ugh.
Hey, it kind of works sometimes.
Sometimes, but you know what that Honor Mercy Sojourn Soldier are doing? They're falling asleep. They're not under any pressure whatsoever. You see this? This is so easy. You're not you could be contesting Honor here. You could be contesting Soldier. You can't because you're on the wrong side of the map.
Yeah,
you're just at a bad angle.
He gets a pick because I'm not contesting him.
Yeah, and then even when you do contest, you're contesting straightforward, directly at them. It's all just bad positioning to start. That's all it is. There isn't really anything to say because it's just bad positioning. That's it. Everything's gonna feel bad.
I always think about it in mechanics.
See that's the easy thing, right? It's easy to say, if I attract better, right?
Yeah, I'm always like, oh man, my tracking was so off, and I'm like, I'll be fine.
Well, because the reason why it's easy is because it's always true, right? It's always true. Nobody has perfect mechanics, so you can always say your tracking could be better. I mean, the best players in the world, if I attract a little bit better. Yeah, duh, right? Obviously. Unless you're literally aimbotting, your tracking could always be better. Now let's ask again: is this the best off angle to set up for backline here, or just to set up? Period.
No, just left side. I think left side is way
contesting
better.
Sojourn Mercy, right? Much better.
Yeah, I didn't realize they were there, but then somebody called them out, and I go,
okay.
I think.
But here's the really funny thing: is even if you were to choose the right side, you're still on the wrong angle. Because if you're going to choose right, where should you be?
Probably deeper on the right side, right there.
Right?
Yeah,
should be
right
here.
there.
That's it. Right? Exactly. So it's obviously you didn't know. Okay, fine. That's fine. But why are you here? because I know what's going to happen, right? You're either going to chase, right? Or you're going to be like, oh, blink and it's not going to work. This approach would have been so much easier if you come from the left, right? Because you would have been able to see all your threats and you wouldn't have gotten surprised by a soldier. One of the things I always talk about is the tracer sandwich, right? Where you see what's wrong with your screen right now.
I'm the meat.
Yes, you are the meat.
I'm the cheese.
You're the meat.
Cheese and the grilled cheese.
Exactly. It's not good. So you can't see
grilled.
your threats. You can't see what's shooting at you.
I'm the sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it ended up working out because
Yeah,
those guys are kind of feeding, right?
Yeah,
the Mercy and the Sojourn.
Right.
But yeah, you're right about the.
We're good. This is good. Now hide. Wait. You finally on a decent angle here. Ha!
I miss it.
That's okay. It's okay. Good angle.
I love the single. Being a rat, like in the back line.
No!
I leave it, but
you left it. You left it. Why'd you leave it? I think they slide up top. But yeah, they slide up top. I think you hear a slide up top. So where should you go?
Bottom, maybe?
Yeah. Drop down here. Sit up here. Wrap around from behind here. Be the threat on the staircase, right? Don't go back to your team. And what does this do? You know?
Nothing. Yeah,
Nothing, right?
I can't do anything there.
You can't stay here, obviously, because you get shot in the back, but you could just deep and wrap around this way. Hide, distract, live.
Oh, get an Ana there.
You've got 3 blinks. You've got a mini. You've got another mini. You've got a mega back here. You can also blink out this direction if you need to. You're cooking. Okay, this is good. This is good. Where should you go from here?
I'm just waiting for the Ana to cross, I think, at this point. But then Kitty comes. But no, I shoot her. That was dumb. I shoot that guy too. I'm just waiting for the Ana though. I always look for Ana.
You're killing me. You give the angle, he takes the angle, and then now you have a hard time because he had the drop on you.
I gotta retake onto him.
Mm-hmm.
No man.
This is good.
When she goes, I go. But then they nano, and then I get nano. So I just gotta go.
Yeah. Nice trigger discipline there. That was good. Okay.
We're down though, so I don't really know what to do.
They use 3 ults, so.
Yeah. Here, what would you do? Just reset, right?
Ask yourself, can I stay on the angle? And if so, stay on the angle. You can't, like, by stay, I don't necessarily mean shoot from the angle, but just like stage. Because if you could live like and hide like over here, this means when the fight starts, you're already immediately ready to go. Whereas if you run back this way, when the fight starts, you have to set up and then push. Yeah. Right, exactly. So you want to do your homework here, like if you can. And I don't think there's really anybody in their comp that can chase you. So like, okay, that works.
He got a headshot. He kind of fell.
Ooh, that's like, quite a rock. Wow. That's Sigma like Hail Mary this. Look at that. Just like yeeted it.
He hit it too.
Yeah. Yee.
Oh my god. That's the rock. I just gotta go on the soldier, but I die.
See, no, you're right. This is the problem though. This is the exact same mistake you did with the Doomfist earlier. Do you remember this? When you had an angle and you're like, oh, he goes to the other angle, so you blink across the map to chase him. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. This is how you die. So if you're here and you hear a soldier behind, if you can't
I'm just scared that he's gonna kill my brig. So like
you have to just have faith in your brig, because the problem is that if you chase him, he's gonna kill you.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he end up.
And the other thing too is that you, even if you don't die here, you're not a real threat to him with 1 blink, no recall here.
Yeah, I'm just a free kill.
So take an angle, right? You're on this angle here. Where should you rotate to?
Right side, probably.
Right side. Keep rotating. Pressure from here. Blink through here. Wrap around this way. Keep wrapping. Use the angle that you have. So even if the soldier does get a kill, you trade a kill. You're set up for this position. Use this position. Not even Tracer can shift your angle that fast. It just doesn't work. So you pick an angle and either fight on that angle or deepen that angle. Don't go backwards and second guess your decision.
Yeah.
It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It's exact same. Like I said, it's the same mistake that you made here where it got you killed by rotating over here. Because it cost you blinks and well, even it didn't get you killed, but you did nothing. It will either get you killed or it will compromise your value.
Yeah, I think what makes it worse is that it sometimes works. So I get
Of
like the
course,
feeling,
yeah,
you know,
sometimes
like
it works.
I get the idea that it's like not that bad, but in reality, I think
Right.
it's really bad.
But you're
Yeah.
never comparing it to what you could have done because you don't do what you could have done. Right. So you look at this fight here and you're like, oh, maybe I forced a soldier out. Yeah, maybe you did. Maybe you could have. Maybe he doesn't hit the helix and you force him out. But then let's just give ourselves this in this fantasy scenario. What would have happened here?
Oh, that kitty's low. That
See
kitty's
the
low.
sojourn? See the look at the
Yeah.
look at the sojourn. Look at the sojourn.
Oh,
Look what she does. Look at this. You needed to distract this Kiri sojourn.
I had to be there.
You had to be there. Otherwise,
I
you're
was
on.
there. Oh my
You were there,
goodness.
right?
Oh,
Like this is so tradable, right? I mean, this is so trade. She didn't even have Suzu this entire fight,
oh, she would have been toast.
right? I actually don't even think
Maybe.
the Sojourn didn't have slide either. No Suzu, no slide. I mean, come on. That's if nothing else, maybe saves your tank or your squishy's life here.
Yeah,
You know,
she doesn't.
and you had pulse bomb. You had pulse bomb. You had pulse bomb. You know, so that's the thing is like you're thinking, oh, it sometimes it works, and yeah, sometimes it will work, but you never know what would have worked better because you never go for it. I mean, obviously, sometimes you do go for it, but you know, just something to keep in mind. I just don't want you. Basically, the takeaway here is when you have
don't
an
leave the
angle,
angle.
don't go to the other angle. Deepen or duel. Deepen or duel. By duel, I mean fight whoever's on that off angle. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like J3 in all my pulses.
Yeah. That's all right.
Happens, I guess. I have to contest him, right?
Yeah.
It's
awkward because
it's
awkward because of that Sigma's position, but I do think that like if you ever get the space to, it's so much easier to contest from this staircase here. There's just a little bit more space, a little bit more cover. This is just so much more tunnel, but I don't know if you had the space to do it. So maybe it's okay. Because I think the Sigma, they just would have poked you out if you'd gone here. Yeah, it's okay.
He would have.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine.
I had pulse, so like that's the only reason why I go there. And then my break goes, so I'm like, okay, maybe we can.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. Yeah, I think you just lose. Okay, keep going. Yeah, this is kind of what I'm talking about, like where you're already set up, so it's like it's good.
Here, I'm just like out of range where I feel like I don't do much.
Well, then you can't really do much. It's just not a really good position for you as Tracer. So you just need to be at like this is still value, right? The Lucia's looking at you, the Kyrie's looking at you, the soldier disengages, and they have to use Suzu because she's scared that you're going to kill him. Just live. Just live. You're not going to do really anything much here, so just live. Just don't get a headshot.
And then they chase me. I gotta run.
Lucia? I would say as soon as you see this here, you should just know that I'm not getting any value now. Kiri's looking at him, soldier's coming up, Lucia's looking out, just blink out this way and hide.
Yeah, it took too long. I was thinking like when they walk up the stairs like that, they're really trackable. So I try to like
I see. That's
make
true.
use of that like situation, but yeah, that was not gonna work out with the kitty healing and the Lucian.
It's just such a far distance, you know.
Yeah, here I just go in there.
Yeah.
I'm just in the bad position, so I try to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, this is a good angle.
She goes mega.
Yeah, it's good. Live. I would prefer. This is kind of it's okay. Hear me out.
Okay.
It's kind of a similar situation with the earlier soldier example in the Doomfist, where you see her here. What should you do here? Think about it for a second.
Go for the kitty.
Go for the Kiri. I really do think so because she's just closer. You're gonna have to use blinks and chase the Sojourn. Just
I always chase, man. Yeah,
right? You're doing a lot of chasing, but just use what your position allows you to do. I think like here, this is just so much easier, you know, than having to like keep chasing and wrap.
Like cover there on the kitty if I just stay on the kitty.
Yeah, and then this is just a little bit of greed. You know, you almost had the mega. It's good
I
distraction.
really wanted it. I so much wanted. I didn't want to use recall, and I just died for it.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. The angle was good.
He's so low, man. He's so low.
I get it. I understand.
They're all.
Yeah.
And I got a pulse. So I was like, maybe I can turn that, but no.
Wrong rollout here. Go out this door because you need to be playing this angle here. This angle's so much better.
Yeah, left after like nothing.
Right, you
like
could always deepen.
Yeah, left I can't.
You can't do anything here.
I'm just stuck shooting tank.
This is what you want to be doing, right? Like all along here. Yeah. There
See,
you go.
I feel like that's
You got it. Go ahead. Sorry.
I feel like that's like, I don't know, my problem. I gotta be thinking more about my positioning and stuff, right?
Right. Remember the
I
Havana
do.
talk again. Remember? I feel like I gotta play Widow. This is
I
why,
got.
right?
If
This is
this is all
why.
I get out of the session, I think I got something really valuable out of that.
I think so too. I think so too. Because it's such a complicated thing too. Because it's not just about like memorizing positions. It's like looking at their
It's
comp and being
dynamic.
like,
It's way
you know,
more dynamic.
right.
Yeah.
This is really good. This is really, really, really good.
Nobody's
She's-
looking at her. She's toast.
Yeah.
Well, unless I missed every shit.
Yeah, you fumble mechanically, but again, like if you fumble mechanically, then we have an easy time. If that's all that goes wrong, that's fine. Right? If you just made a mechanical goof up, whatever. Yeah. Any questions so far?
No, not really. I think I'm getting. Like it's just my positioning is like needs a lot of work. Right?
Yep. Let's be specific with what your position needs work, though. I think you need to experiment more with different angles, right? Think about what's the best angle in each circumstance.
Do you ever go for angles? Do you ever go for angles where you can get support, or does that like factor?
Sure.
And
Absolutely. I mean, think back even to the last fight, right? Like when I'm thinking about taking this off angle here, I'm kind of keeping in the back of my mind that in theory my brig should still be able to pack me from where she's seeing. And even like on second point here, like when you were like pushing with your team here, you rotate to here, you still have opportunity to get healing, right? So like as Tracer, you kind of want like, if possible, think about like a line of sight between you and your supports whenever you hold an angle.
yeah.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a factor. It's not necessarily the most important factor as Tracer, but it is a factor.
You can get a mini, you can get a mega.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
This angle's good. I mean, obviously, like this is really not a better one. Is she just dense? Did she not hear you?
I don't know. She saw me, right? It's so weird.
What on earth?
And then she misses everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's cute,
yeah,
right?
she just dies.
Yeah, easy peasy. And I love that. You notice that you started here, you deepened here, you shot here, you deepened here, and then you deepen here. You just keep. It's very smooth. It's very efficient with your blinks. You know.
Yeah, this felt good.
It also takes the guesswork out of it because, like, as a support player, it's probably not something that they're always thinking about. But I know there's been times when I, as a support player, have thought, "Hey, my Tracer's on that right flank. I can kind of be a little bit more cozy, ignoring that side because I know my Tracer has my back." That's what you're doing here, right?
Nice.
Where you're controlling the sidelines so that your supports can kind of focus over here. But if you ping pong over,
I kind of deepen and like the main could turn, right?
But you just force your ice block. Right, that's my point.
Yeah,
so I'm less concerned. Doesn't mean I turn a blind eye to it, but I'm less concerned because I know that you've at least forced resources from that area and you're applying consistent pressure. So like, even though you did deepen, it's fine. It's fine. So that's what I was saying. Like, whereas if you'd gone from here and then blinked over here, well, then now I'm not sure where you're helping me, right? Not only is it inefficient, but I'm also not sure where you're providing support for me. So like, it just makes it so much easier. As a support, if I only have to worry about one angle, it makes my life very easy.
Yeah, I never thought about, but I never felt.
Yeah, I mean, it applies to tank too, but yeah. This is all fine. My only nitpick here is once you recall, you should just live. You're okay. You can play underneath here, play mini, blink out this way. Don't rotate back towards your team. Hold the angle. Hold the angle cautiously.
I think I'm just like trying to shoot the tank without getting shot by the soldier here.
But I want you to stay here because you're perfectly staged to threaten the soldier. You don't have the resources to fight the soldier right now, but you don't need to. You will have the resources in about 3 or 4 seconds. So stay dead.
But isn't it better to try to kill the tank there? Just go for like he's like low. Our team is on him.
Yeah, I suppose so, but at the same time, you're allowing that soldier to hold that position without having to worry about you.
True.
And I'm more concerned about the soldier flipping this fight than I am about the tank flipping the fight because he's on the high ground. Whereas if post recall here, you stay right here and hide, this soldier cannot forget about you.
Yeah, that would have been better.
Right? So you're the seat you're the seatbelt for your team here. Like, yeah, your team has obviously going to have to kill Sigma by themselves because you can't shoot the Sigma because you're down. You're one blink, right? So you can't really engage right now. But your team doesn't really need help with Sigma. They need help to make sure that these guys can't like relax up here.
Yeah,
You know,
he can pop off Soldier in that
he sure
position.
can because he still has the position. So you need to contest that position. Your Ana hits a crazy sleep dart.
Yeah, that was a
but,
beautiful sleep there.
But that's scary. It's the same idea though, like where you had an angle and then you gave it up, right? You disengaged out instead of just holding or living on the angle. So
this also happens a lot, like where we're like up a bunch of people and like I want to push, so I go push, but I'm like the one. I'm the tank. I'm like the one in front, and I die. Because like I feel like we should be pushing those, right? Or like we're up a lot. We're up a lot of resources. We can get the staggers, and I'm like, okay, let's go. We got this guy. I kind of feed there.
Yeah. I just okay. So let's just look at this one fight really quick here. So let's say you don't die here. What do you do from this position? Now, I know what you would do normally. You'd blink over here and you'd go back and you shoot through window or something stupid like that. But with what you know now, what do you do? You've won the angle. What do you do with it?
Well, I mean, assuming I don't die there, right? I would just stay there and shoot the brig.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, let's say the brig's with their backline. What do you do?
I would probably try to like maybe shoot from like the little bots there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that a reasonable answer?
Yeah. You could either deepen this way, or you could just hold the angle that you just won and shoot from this angle here, split their attention, right? Yeah. Again, you don't ping pong back to your team. You just keep rotating. Keep rotating, or use the angle that you want. Okay. So let's write some notes here. Sir, 2 points, right? What was the first?
Well, there were like a lot of points. I think most importantly, the ones you mentioned are like the one like just focus on one thing every fight, not every fight, sorry, every game, right? Don't like switch it up. You know, I don't have to be focused on like positioning for like a week or anything like that, right? That was number one. I think that I remember. Then you also said don't tilt. I tilt because I think I'm supposed to be like I have this idea that I'm like I'm only supposed to be matched against GM players, when in reality I'm gonna have like diamond players in my games, and I gotta be more realistic about like, okay, I gotta carry, but obviously I gotta carry because I'm going against masters, right? And just like I don't know, think more logically about that, and like not get tilted because I'm thinking more logically about that. Positioning needs a lot of work. Have to like not just ping pong my team, not like chase people. Also, just like if I'm in the angle, take the position and either stay in the angle, just denying it, or like duel somebody. And those I think are the major points that I got from like this session. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Nice.
And then
also like
positioning.
like look at maps and stuff, right? Like try to like figure out mad scientists.
Yeah, exactly.
Style.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, one question.
Yeah, of course.
When I'm in the back line, would you I'm like you were mentioning, for example, like in the back, like a little bit before, at the start of like the bot, like the team is walking out and like they have a Doom is going left, and like the whole back line is isolated in the back, right? You said that they're like chilling, they're like not they don't have to worry about anything, they're like not under any pressure,
right?
But if I go to them at that point, isn't it like 1v3?
Well, yes, but if the Doomfist is engaged at that same point in time, and you can live that 1v3, then he's not going to get resources. Think about it this way.
And he dies.
Right. I trust you to be careful with your peaks, to manage your HP, to play around cover, and so on. And I don't trust that Doomfist to do the same.
Yeah.
You kind of see what I'm saying? So when you're looking for an engagement, you're not necessarily looking for like everybody in the backline's like fully committed. You're just looking for even just the tank to be engaged. And so your job is just to leech resources away from him without dying.
Okay.
If that makes sense.
I think I struggle sometimes with like when to engage on the backline. Sometimes I feel like I'm waiting for like what you said, like a lot of people to engage on them with me.
Sure.
And that realistically, just like it's not gonna happen that often. Not,
Yeah.
like especially right now, I feel like a lot of people are not playing dive.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I gotta be more self-sufficient
Yeah.
on my
Exactly.
tracer.
Exactly.
Right?
It's thinking about like the type of engagement as well. Like remember on third point attack where like the Curie Lucio soldier were all looking at you, you knew there was no chance of getting a kill there. Like literally, not even if you're the best tracer in the world. So what were you doing? You're just a distraction, right? Whereas if like let's say that you show up late to the party, you've got to pull a small, they're distracted. Now you're the one getting the kill, right? Not your team.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
All right,
Well,
mate.
that was really good. Thank you.
You're very